What's the word, ladies and gentlemen? This is Andrew, and in today's episode of Is It Worth It, we'll be talking about Fragger. We'll be going over his weapons, stats, abilities, my preferred loadout cards, and overall playstyle, and determining whether or not he is worth your 50,000 credits or $10 USD. Now, what is funny about our poor friend Fragger is that every time there's a giveaway, it seems as though he is the merc that they're going to give out. They're going to whore him out to everyone and their grandmother. And there was actually a giveaway in June that was for the E3 promotion. Go ahead, link in the description below, but I think it's over. But yeah, it kind of goes to show why I haven't done this video yet. I guess I assumed everyone already had Fragger, but surprisingly, a lot of you guys requested this one, so here we go. So, Fragger belongs to the Assault class, which means he has one job, and that is to kill things. As such, he's got a nice 150 HP health pool, but he's a bit slower than Skyhammer, coming in with 385 movement speed. Now, his ability is the deadly frag grenades, and he gets to hold 2 of them at a time. Now, for primaries, Fragger gets the BR-16 burst rifle, the K121 LMG, and the lovely M4A1 assault rifle. Now for secondaries, you get choice between the different heavy pistols, the S&W and Simeon revolvers, and then the DE50. They all feature high damage at the cost of lower magazine size. And for melee weapons, Fragger gets the standard selection of the stiletto, Beckel, and the cricket bat. Nothing too amazing. You don't get a katana with Fragger or anything like that. Now, with all that laid out, let's talk about Fragger as a whole. What is he like? Well, his job, like I said, is essentially be in the front lines and to kill people, lots and lots of people. And of the primary he gets, I personally like his LMG or the assault rifle, the K121 or the M4A1. Not a huge fan of the burst rifle, the BR-16, but it does pretty ridiculous damage if you can land headshots. It's just not for me, it's not my style of play, but I know plenty of people who are fine with using the BR-16 on Fragger. Now, between the K121 and the M4A1, I've actually used the K121 exclusively for a long time with Fragger, like a long time, for months, since I got him when open beta started. Now, I've always been under the philosophy that, hey, if I'm going to use Fragger, I'm going to use the LMG because it's like his signature weapon, no one else can use it, and I've done pretty good with it. It's got a ridiculous 17 damage per bullet at a rate of fire of 477 RPM, which comes out to be a DPS if you land all body shots of 135 damage per second, and that's actually 10 more damage than the M4A1. However, the weakness of this LMG is its bloom per shot accuracy when you're firing from the hip. You'll notice that the longer you hold down the trigger on this LMG, the bigger the bloom gets. Now, the upside is that you do get 50 rounds per reload, but if you want to be accurate, you're left with 3 options, right? You can either aim down sights, you can either burst fire when you hit fire, you know, kind of control that bloom, or you can take it to CQC and just shove the LMG down people's throats. You know, I do a mix of all 3, and when it works out, it's fantastic. You know, landing headshots on this thing is just monstrous. The damage is just crazy. However, when it doesn't work, it can get a little frustrating. Now, not only that, but I feel a lot slower. In fact, when you move with the LMG, the K121, you move at 82.5 of your normal speed. Now that's in comparison to the M41 and the BR-16, you move at 87.5 of your movement speed. Not a deal breaker at all, but it's just sort of something you guys should keep in mind. Now, taking a step back, as I've mentioned before, I've been using the K121 exclusively for months with Fragger until recently. I got a new gold loadout card from the free Elite Case weekend, which I plan on making a review for later in the future. When it is up, I'll post it here in the cards section. If you just kind of look in the upper right hand corner, I'll go ahead and link it when it's out. But without giving away too much, it came with the M4A1, and you know, I thought I'd try it. You know, why not? It's gold. But then I realized, holy crap, the M4A1 is amazing on Fragger. He becomes like Skyhammer's deranged killer brother with more HP and 2 amazing explosives. and you still get that same laser accuracy. And after playing a few rounds with the M4A1, I'm completely sold. Yes, you do less damage per second than the LMG, but you have amazing hipfire accuracy that lets you be a lot more consistent. And I enjoy using the K121, don't get me wrong, but man, the M4A1 of Fragger is just something else. I just love that consistency. When deciding which primary you want to use though, be sure to try them all out. You know, like I made the mistake of sticking to one for a long time, and I know everyone has their own preference, but I can personally say that I'm sold on the M4A1 for Fragger. I do believe they reduced the bloom for the K121 recently in a patch, so be sure to try all the different weapons out just to kind of figure out what you like the most. You know, do you like high damage at the cost of accuracy, or do you like lower damage with a bit more consistency? You know, you guys have to try all this out yourselves. This is all personal preference. For secondaries, I think they're all pretty good. You know, I would say the Simeon or the DE50 are probably a bit more practical, they're a bit more accurate, but the S&W is also good, but it gets a little inaccurate if you spam it. I just like it for style. I mean, it just looks so badass, it sounds so badass, but no matter what you choose, you'll be dealing with 6 or 7 rounds. Now, the grenades are pretty basic. His ability are the frag grenades, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows you can cook them. But I guess I should explain this, but to cook a grenade, basically it means to hold onto the grenade before tossing it. That way you kind of shorten the impact duration. You know, it takes about 3 seconds for the grenade to go off. You can hold it for 2, so when you throw it, it'll land and explode pretty much immediately. But I guess the way that most people figure this out is by holding down the Q button while trying to move with WASD, and that can be kind of awkward. I mean, your pinky doesn't know where to go, and your ring finger is like, I don't know what to push. It can be a little awkward, so you can either do that, which is awkward. You can either rebind it to another key or rebind it to your mouse button. But here's a trick that I think works the best. It's pretty easy, it doesn't require any sort of fancy tinkering, but all you gotta do is to press number 4. That's right. So it'll take out the grenade, and then your character will run around with the grenade in your hand, and then just left click and then hold to cook it. Now I'm gonna say this again. So you left click, hold. When you release it, you're going to toss the grenade. So you hold down for as long as you want to cook it. Don't hold it for too long. And then you release when you want to toss the nade. This method frees up your left hand to move Fragger to get into proper positioning. You know, you can strafe around, you can jump around. It's pretty easy to do. All you gotta do is hold down that left button and then release when you want to throw the grenade. Now, for augments, you want things like Explodey Unshakable Drilled. I personally like Double Time as well. Fragger gets a good number of great loadouts, I have to say, but the ones I personally enjoy most are the K51 Power Gunner, which will feature the K121 LMG, the M62 Power Rifleman, which will give you the M41, and the B52 Hurricane Rifleman. These are all great loadouts. There are plenty more, but I'm not going to list them all out here. A lot of his loadouts are pretty good, so if you happen to have a preference, let me know in the comments what you guys like as far as loadouts. But the ones I picked, I just figured they have a pretty good mix of the augments I like having. Now, for playstyle, you want to be sure you know where the ammo boxes are on every map, because you'll be needing them with all the killing you'll be doing. Make sure you stock up on ammo whenever you can. And I guess as far as actual combat, don't be afraid to 1 versus 1 anyone. If you're losing a fight, duck behind cover, cook a grenade, pop back out, and chuck it in their face. You know, Fragger is great at maps when the enemy is shoved into tight areas. Now, try your best to flank the enemy, especially when they're all clustered up near a choke point next to a health station or something. You know, cook your grenades, toss them. This is very easy to do with the method I showed you guys. Very powerful technique. You can pretty much flush an entire choke point. Now, I know I said I like the M41 over the K121 for Fragger, but the K121's massive magazine will actually help you mow down clusters of enemies as well in these sort of situations, but I would highly recommend that you toss the grenade first before trying to take it to your LMG. Anyways, I hope you guys found this review of Fragger helpful. I know I went a little bit in depth here, so this all goes back to, is Fragger worth it? Well, if you like killing things, yes, he is totally worth the 50,000 credits or $10 USD. I can't see why you wouldn't enjoy killing things in a shooter, but I guess even if you gravitate towards like a support primary pacifist role where you just only drop ammo or only drop revives or health packs, you know, I would still highly recommend Fragger. If you're in need of a pure assault merc, this is it. You know, I guess if you want to compare it to Nader, you know, her nades are a bit more spammable, but the fact that you can cook Fragger's grenades is just amazing. It'll net you a kill almost every time, at least one kill every time. And I guess on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have Rhino. You know, Rhino has that massive 200 HP, but he's a lot slower. He's like slow as molasses. Fragger offers a good balance between speed and that tankiness. Anyways, that just about wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and smash that like button, and let's shoot for 70 likes for this one. If you're new to my channel and this is the first video you are seeing, be sure to check out some of my other Merc reviews. You may actually find them quite useful. So with all that said and done, I think that just about wraps up for today, so I'll see you guys in the next episode.